tensions between the United States and Iran are once again in focus as both nations prepare for critical nuclear discussions. These talks come at a sensitive moment, with global attention fixed on diplomacy, regional stability, and long-term security. For American audiences, the outcome could influence foreign policy, energy markets, and international alliances. The White House has emphasized its commitment to preventing nuclear proliferation while keeping diplomatic channels open. Officials stress that dialogue remains the preferred path forward. These negotiations are being closely watched by U.S. allies who see diplomacy as a way to reduce uncertainty and avoid further escalation in the Middle East. Iranian leaders, meanwhile, continue to defend their nuclear program as peaceful. They argue that sanctions relief and mutual respect are essential for progress. This disagreement highlights the complex nature of negotiations, where trust, verification, and compromise play crucial roles in shaping any potential agreement. For the American public, these talks matter beyond headlines. U.S.-Iran relations directly impact global oil prices, regional security, and military commitments abroad. Even small diplomatic shifts can ripple across markets and foreign currency policy decisions, making these discussions especially relevant for everyday Americans. Experts suggest that rebuilding trust will be one of the hardest challenges. Past agreements and withdrawals still shape current attitudes on both sides. Analysts believe that clear communication and realistic expectations are necessary to avoid misunderstandings that could derail the talks before meaningful progress is made. Media coverage across the United States reflects cautious optimism mixed with skepticism. Many Americans remember earlier negotiations and their outcomes. This history fuels debate over whether diplomacy alone can achieve lasting results or if additional measures may eventually be required. Regional allies of the United States are also paying close attention. Countries in the Middle East view these talks through the lens of their own security concerns. Their reactions could influence future cooperation with Washington and shape this broader regional dynamics. From a policy standpoint, the Biden administration faces pressure at home and abroad. Lawmakers, voters, and international partners all have differing expectations. Balancing domestic political realities with global responsibilities makes these negotiations particularly delicate. Iran, on the other hand, is navigating economic challenges tied to long-standing sanctions. Officials see negotiations as a potential path toward economic relief. However, internal political pressures may limit how much flexibility Iranian negotiators can show at the table. Diplomatic experts note that progress often happens quietly. Public statements may sound tense, but behind-the-scenes discussions can still move forward. This is why patience is often emphasized by officials familiar with long-running international negotiations. For U.S. viewers, understanding the broader context is essential. These talks are not just about one agreement, but about setting rules, expectations, and communication channels that could last for years. Long-term stability depends on consistent engagement. Security analysts warn that failure in talks could increase regional uncertainty. While no immediate outcomes are guaranteed, diplomacy is widely seen as a safer alternative to confrontation. This perspective shapes much of the cautious tone coming from Washington. American allies in Europe have also expressed support for renewed dialogue. They believe cooperation between major powers strengthens global non-proliferation efforts. Their involvement adds another layer of complexity to already sensitive discussions. Public opinion in the United States remains divided. Some Americans strongly support negotiations, while others question their effectiveness. This debate reflects broader conversations about America's role in global diplomacy and conflict prevention. Technology and verification measures are expected to play a key role. Any agreement would likely involve monitoring systems to ensure compliance. These technical details, though less visible, are critical for building confidence on both sides. Timing is another major factor. Global events, elections, and economic conditions can all influence diplomatic momentum. Analysts say the coming weeks will be important in determining whether talks gain traction or stall. Again, U.S. officials continue to stress that diplomacy does not mean weakness. Instead, they frame negotiations as a strategic tool to protect national interests while reducing risks. This messaging is aimed at reassuring both domestic and international audiences. Iran's position remains firm on sovereignty and sanctions. Negotiators are expected to push for tangible economic benefits. How the U.S. responds to these demands could define the direction of talks moving forward. Media outlets in America are highlighting expert opinions to help viewers understand the stakes. From former diplomats to security analysts, voices across the spectrum agree that careful handling is essential to avoid miscalculation. Energy markets are another area of concern. Any shift in U.S.-Iran relations can influence oil supply expectations. American consumers may feel indirect effects through fuel prices and broader economic trends. International law and existing agreements form the backbone of negotiations. Both sides reference past commitments while debating future terms. This legal framework adds structure, but also limits how far either party can move. The role of communication cannot be overstated. Clear messaging reduces the risk of misinterpretation. Diplomatic language, though often cautious, is designed to keep discussions open even during moments of disagreement. Understanding these issues helps build informed perspectives on international relations. Social media has amplified interest and debate. While it increases awareness, it also spreads misinformation. Trusted news sources and expert analysis remain essential for accurate understanding of complex diplomatic developments. U.S. leadership is under scrutiny as the talks approach. Allies expect consistency, while rivals watch closely for signals of strength or compromise. Every statement is analyzed for its potential impact. Iran's negotiating team is equally aware of global attention. Their statements are carefully crafted for both domestic audiences and international observers. This dual messaging can sometimes slow progress, but remains a political reality. Diplomacy is rarely fast or dramatic. Incremental steps often matter more than headline-grabbing moments. Experts caution viewers to look for subtle signs of progress rather than immediate breakthroughs. The outcome of these talks could influence future negotiations worldwide. Success may encourage dialogue in other conflict areas, while failure could harden positions elsewhere. This broader impact adds to the importance of current discussions. For Americans, staying informed is key. Understanding different perspectives helps reduce polarization around foreign policy issues. Balanced reporting allows viewers to form opinions based on facts rather than fear. As U.S.-Iran nuclear talks approach, the world watches carefully. While tensions remain, diplomacy offers a path forward. The coming days may not deliver final answers, but they will shape the direction of relations and global stability for years to come.